This is the Randi Rhodes Show on 960 KNEW and online at 960KNEW.com.
Here's today's talking point from your official guide to being a good Republican. Talking point number 207. You've got a special delivery for tyranny. Today, as our leaders ponder the delicate subject of drone attacks, perhaps we should consider a threat that Republicans, standing virtually alone, have protected America from. The threat of Saturday mail delivery.
Oh, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Stay with me here. If you didn't know that receiving a Crate and Barrel catalog on a weekend was a fundamental threat to your liberty, well, you can thank the liberal Marxist postal conspiracy for hiding that fact. It was all an elaborate plot, you see, to use the post office to siphon away your tax dollars. Here's the mail czar, the Postmaster General, caught on tape admitting to the plan.
We generate all of our revenue from the sale of postage. We take no tax dollars. We do not want tax dollars.
Well, that's a subtle Red Menace plot if ever I heard one, and it took congressional Republicans to foil it. They passed a law requiring the Postal Service to pre-fund pensions for 75 years. Without that law, the post office would have about $1.5 billion in surplus, and those pesky utility bills would arrive that much earlier. With the law, the post office is so poor that it has been forced to stop Saturday mail delivery. Score one for freedom. Republicans are working so hard to cripple the Postal Service further and put an end to the nightmare of government-sponsored mail delivery altogether. We want FedExed Christmas cards at $14 a pop. But until we get there, at least now you have your weekends free from intrusive big government forcing coupons for carpet cleaning into your mailbox. And that's talking point number 207 from your official guide to being a good Republican. The latest edition mailed directly to you.
Are you a flake?
It's true. And you know, the Postal Service is a big damn deal to me. You know that. I have so much love for mail and the Postal Service and the postal workers who deliver the mail. The idea that people have about the Postal Service that you pay tax dollars, you don't pay tax dollars into the Postal Service. The Postal Service supports itself just on stamps, just on packages. That's it. That's the only thing that the Postal Service is allowed to sell. And of course, in 2006, when Bush was still, the commander guy.
I'm a commander guy. Yes, sir.
The Republican Congress pushed through a piece of legislation affecting the post office that went almost unnoticed, except for the postal workers. And that particular piece of legislation is why we're losing Saturday delivery in August if Congress does nothing. What was that legislation? It said that the Postal Service, the only function that they have any say over, the only agency that they have any say over, would have to pay into their pension funds, pre-fund their pension funds for 75 years. You know why they did that? They did that because Bush was looking to get money from somewhere to minimize the deficits he was running. And he thought that if he could grab, like a few $1 billion from the Postal Service, then he could spend that money, which is what he did. And so the Postal Service was asked, no other public or private institution has ever been asked to pre-fund its pension fund for 75 years under law. Nobody, not a public, not a private, nobody. So they had to pony up all of this money. They had to pony up billions and billions and billions of dollars. And if they didn't do that, they would have today a $1.5 billion surplus. There is nothing wrong with our Postal Service. There is something wrong with Congress. Now, what is it that motivated them to do that? Federal Express, UPS, DHL, private mail delivery. This was an attempt to privatize the mail, the Postal Service, which, by the way, is in the Constitution. It's in Article 1.